After months of wiffle ball weekends, it comes down to a final best of 3 to determine a Circle City Wiffle champion. Live from the iconic Dirtyard in Indianapolis, we're pleased to bring you the 11th annual Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network alongside Alex Gertschiff, who's been a longtime veteran in this league. I'm Derek Schultz, and Alex, obviously it's great to be here. I'm never really sure what to expect here at the Dirtyard, but I do know that we're always going to get a great show out here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, guys playing all year with the goal of coming out here for the Dirtyard Classic, coming away with a couple wins and getting to hang their banner up there with the likes of the champions that have come before them. So great matchup, Yakkers and Hounds today. Excited to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, and I'm always interested whenever it is a matchup like this where you have kind of a strength versus strength matchup, and that's what we have here with the Yakkers and Hounds, where you have, I think, the pitching edge, really a single-person pitching edge, right, with the incomparable Mike Whitty, who's just been on a different level, one of the best wiffle ball pitchers, obviously, in this league, but not only that, but in the country.
Right.
And then you have the bats of what the Yakkers have been able to do, and some of the numbers. Rudy Lyon, an all-star and an anchor of that lineup. I think it'll be interesting to see what those bats can do with Mike Whitty, because so far in the playoffs and really so far this entire season, no one's been able to do much with Mike Whitty.
100%, yeah. Unstoppable force and an immovable object, right? Yeah. The Yakkers, anchored by Rudy and Thomas Hopkins, two of the strongest bats in the lineup. And Whitty, just last weekend, a 16-inning win to get the Hounds into the Dirtyard Classic. So yeah, he's as unhittable as it gets, not just in the league, but like you said, in the nation.
Whitty also the leadoff batter for the Hounds, and I remember coming here a couple of years ago. I believe he would have been with the Moonshots then.
Yeah.
And first pitch here from Aiden Palmer. A scrappy player, right? A good pitcher, a decent hitter, and he's become a very good hitter and obviously an elite level pitcher over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, last year was really his coming out party. He, carried the Hounds on his back to their championship last year. This year has been more of the same. He's even, like you mentioned, found his stride as a hitter as well. He's, I believe, made a national hitting team last season as well. So one of, if not the most valuable guys out here.
Let's talk about Aiden Palmer, too. He's been in this league since he was a young pup.
Yeah.
And one of the better pitchers in Circle City Wiffle. And you see this battle here between Whitty and Palmer, a really good one. Really important for him, as it is for all pitchers, but especially in a matchup like this where there's so little margin for error, to consistently hit the board today.
Absolutely, yeah. And, for the longest time, the book on Aiden was to be patient, have a selective approach, because his stuff is nasty, right? It always has been, but for the longest time, the book was to make him throw it on the board because he wasn't consistently doing so. But this year, this has been for my opinion, his best season he's ever had, and it's because he's consistently on the board, right? You can't just play for the walk.
Leadoff strikeout of Whitty, so one away here in the top half of the first, and that brings up Dylan Jones, a .313 hitter this season, 6 homers, 9 driven in, 12 runs for Dylan, affectionately referred to as DJ. I really like the creamsicles for the Hounds. You guys have great jerseys down here, but I think that's the leader for me of the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, this has been a rebrand this year. They had the burgundy pinstripes last year, if you remember. But yeah, kind of an old school Bucks approach here.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Year. Ooh, that one just hits the edge of the zone. That's nasty.
So, Alex, for viewers that are just tuning in, kind of take us through rules-wise. You see the count on the screen.
Yeah.
But you guys have a lot that kind of goes into this that's a little bit different.
Yeah, the biggest thing here with the wiffle ball format is we play 5 balls is a walk, but then not only that, and I think we're going to see it right here, instead of taking a walk, the batter can elect to force the pitcher to scooch in like Aiden's doing right now and throw a lob pitch. Now, you can still do some funky stuff with it, but it gives you a real pitch to hit opportunity.
So the lob pitches here coming in from Palmer.
Yeah, early big opportunity for the Hounds to get on the board here, first inning. The balls carry over.
And there's a hit to Lyon to the mound, and quickly 2 away here. So Palmer doing his job so far here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, big win. Balls carry over from the standard plate appearance, but strikes reset. And so, yeah, Actually, I said that in reverse. Strikes carry over, balls
Sure.
reset. There's a lot of rules out here.
By the way, we mentioned the creamsicle jerseys. Those are brought to you by DH Apparel. Gear up with style. Thanks to DH Apparel, the masterminds behind the threads that make Circle City Wiffle look and feel legitimate, of course, and look and feel cool. Whether you're swinging for the fences or just looking sharp on the sidelines, DH Apparel has got you covered. Give them a call, 812-797-5739, and tell them CCW sent you. Because if you're going to strike out, at least do it in style. I like that.
There you
it's
go.
A great tagline.
There you go. Yeah, that might as well be my tagline out here.
Here's Taylor, and he's quickly down on strikes, so a great job by Aiden Palmer. Scoreless top half of the first, and the Yakkers coming to bat here in Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic. We're scoreless through 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
There we go, baby. Oh, my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Lock in. Takes it in. Little energy. Little. Not the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. He does. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
Welcome back. Opening game here of the Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network between the Yakkers and Hounds. And after a scoreless top half, the Yakkers come to the dish, and they'll have to deal with Mike Whitty. That man right there. We've got the GoPro on the board. One of the best pitchers in the entire country, and obviously a member of the national team as well is Whitty, a former Indy hurler.
That's
and
right.
That's not a pedigree that is rare for this league, as you've got a lot of former collegiate baseball standouts. Of course, Brandon Dudas, the founder of the league.
Yep.
Will Smithy, one of your best players as well, a former Greyhound. But obviously that discipline, Alex, carries over a lot here to something like wiffle ball. I know you guys have tweaks and rule changes and all of that, but being able to see these pitches, I mean, these offerings from Mike Whitty, 100 miles an hour, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, in fact, I think everybody on the field for the Hounds right now played at the college level. DJ and Kobe did as well. So, yeah, it definitely feels like a bit of a cheat code when you've got guys who, played at such a high level out here playing wiffle ball as well.
Whitty warming up, and you don't really have to worry about him consistently hitting the board. That is something that he pretty much lives by, and we'll see here. I mean, you'll get a front row seat from that GoPro that is attached on the board, and just how devastating some of these offerings can be from Whitty.
Yeah, we had every once in a while we'll break out the radar guns just to clock guys for fun. I think Whitty hit 103 at one point, which just stupid. not fun to stand in there against.
He didn't surrender a run for the whole year across Circle City Wiffle Ball, the NWLA National Tournament, and UWIF as well.
Just an insane run.
187 strikeouts, guys, in 73 innings.
Yeah. In fact, it was the Yakkers earlier this season that finally broke that streak. I believe Rudy hit a lob pitch of Whitty's over the fence to, give up his first run in a calendar year. So, maybe a chance at some revenge from Mike here.
Yeah, July 17th of 2024 when that run was scratched across. So literally from July 12th, 23, July 17th of this past July, he did not give up a run, and that is across not only the league but over some national tournaments as well.
Yeah.
But again, you never want to count out here a wily veteran like Rudy Lyon, and who's going to be in the coming up to bat here shortly, and what he can do.
Yeah, that pitch right there is Whitty's bread and butter, right? It's that rising slider. You'll see it move both vertically and horizontally. 2 planes of movement with the speed that he throws it at. It's tough to square up.
And he's got a tough assignment here. Thomas Hopkins, one of the got a real power bat, 11 homers this year.
Yeah.
91 average as well. In fact, only 9 of his 23 hits are singles.
Yeah,
So you can
he
tell he
sells
likes
out.
to put it over the yard.
No doubt. Just the outside of the zone there. Yeah, Hopkins, in my opinion, maybe the sweetest swing out here, too. You'll probably get a look at a few of them. But, that smooth, big slow pitch softball guy, too. So, big, long, smooth swing.
I would think going from slow pitch to this, timing-wise, would take quite the adjustment.
I'd imagine so, yeah. definitely have to lock back in when I switch over.
But maybe for lob pitches, it could be beneficial.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the thing about this Yakkers lineup, really strong hitters top to bottom, but they won't miss a mistake. You get into a lob pitch situation, it's just about lethal for these guys.
Almost impossible to hit that one. Whitty just on the outside corner paints it to freeze Hopkins for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Lyon. 354 hitter, 8 homers, 11 driven in this year.
Yeah, really strong year for Rudy. Consistently one of the better bats in the league, finding himself in that top tier. He did a really great job of building the team around him this year, too, to take some of the offensive pressure off himself. Thomas, in particular, has been a really good get.
All of these guys in this league, Alex, as you know, you've competed with and against them, really take it seriously. Big-time competitors, and Rudy is one of those as he's down on strikes as well, just kind of shaking his head.
Yeah.
It's a tough pitch.
It's a mental game, like as much as baseball is a mental game, it is out here too. Like when you're facing a guy like Whitty, you're going to fail a lot, right? And to stay locked in, it's a tough assignment.
So quickly 2 down here on strikes in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Sawyer Mitchell.
Sawyer has been, all this week called the hottest hitter in the league. He had an insane week last Sunday in our double elimination semifinal round. I think he had either 3 or 4 home runs in one game. And for a guy who's kind of had part-time duty this year, that's really carried the freight of his stats this year. So
yeah,
he's locked
7
in.
hits on Sunday, and 5 of those went over the fence.
Yeah, just locked in. Fits the same mold as that one.
Couldn't hold up there. 1-2-3 inning for Whitty. All 3 down on strikes. We're scoreless through 1 from the Dirtyard. Game 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard here on the south side of Indianapolis. It's game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network alongside Alex Gertschiff. I'm Derek Schultz. And you see that beautiful home run fence back into the outfield. And the big banner, it's brought to you by AmeriFence, who's proud to bring you this broadcast for the 3rd straight year on the ISC Sports Network of the Dirtyard Classic. For 4 generations, AmeriFence has beautified and secured the properties of Indianapolis with their custom handcrafted fencing. They work directly with mills to manufacture and fabricate fencing at their factory and warehouse right here in the great state of Indiana. See the difference a wood fence installation can make at your residence or business, or hell, your wiffle ball field in your backyard. Call them at 317-505-0447 or get a free quote now. They serve Indianapolis and the surrounding areas. It is a little strange to be here, Alex, because if you're a native of Indy, or even if you've just come in and you've ever gone to a Colts game or an event at Lucas Oil Stadium, we are basically 5 miles directly south of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yep.
But you would never know because you've got like roosters and chickens and farmland, wide open spaces down here, kind of tucked away on the south side of a major metropolitan area.
It's a great thing about Indianapolis, right? Like you've got a little bit of kind of every sort of urban or rural environment within the city. So, yeah, it's a great spot. We've got guys who live, all throughout the city that come make the trek to play down here. So, great spot.
Here's Nick Bundy. He loved wiffle ball so much that he moved back to Indianapolis from Dallas, rejoined the league, a former pork pistol.
Yeah, been a huge get for the Hounds, like free agent pickup. It's not often that a guy like Bundy hits the waiver wire, established veteran, brings a lot of value as the 4-hole hitter to this lineup as a proven hitter. The Hounds had a really rough start of the season, which put him in position to make a claim like this, and Bundy's been really helpful for him.
Still early, but I'll say as much as we've been gushing about Mike Whitty, Aiden Palmer is absolutely locked in right now.
Yeah.
That one put in play, and it looks like he's going to be safe. A great job by Bundy to beat that ball out, and we have our first base runner of the afternoon here in the top of the second inning, the Hounds with a runner on and no one out as the lineup changes over to Whitty.
Aiden almost made a heck of a play on that ball. He reached his arm out and deflected the ball, but if he's able to squeeze that, that's a great play.
Am I right in saying sometimes those are the toughest plays to make in wiffle ball, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as a pitcher, right, you don't know when to be aggressive and go for it, right, and when to let it through. You got to have a good understanding of where your guys are behind you.
That was certainly one of those kind of in-between balls where, you kind of had to make that decision on the fly, and maybe Bundy beats that out no matter what, but a great effort by Palmer as Whitty swings and misses.
Yeah,
down
good.
On strikes for the second time.
Big bounce back strikeout there to kind of stop the bleeding at least momentarily.
And that'll bring up Jones. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well.
You saw in that last play, too, even though the out wasn't collected, they gathered the ball and threw it back to the circle. So one of the other, oddities of our format here is that circle there, the pitcher's mound that you see Aiden throwing from, is effectively the force out at first base position. So any ball, if you play pitcher's hand or pitcher's poison growing up in the backyard, we play a version of that. Ball has to be in the zone and secured for it to be an out as DJ goes down swinging.
And another strikeout for Palmer. He's yielded the single, but not much else so far through 5 batters. That'll bring up Taylor. He makes contact, falls that one back.
Kobe, another guy who's really been seeing it well in the last couple weeks. His stats don't jump off the page at you, but last weekend, the weekend before, has really put a lot of good swings on the ball.
And as you had mentioned, Kobe waiting on a baby.
That's right, yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah. That one hits him in the box for a foul ball.
What a way to welcome a new child than a Dirtyard Classic championship.
Yeah, India's here, I believe. And, they, as far as I understand it, any minute now, it could be the time. So he's, getting the swings in while he can.
Palmer bounces back from the leadoff single to strike out the side in the top half of the second inning. And the Hounds coming back to bat, the Yakkers coming back to back in the bottom half. And we return to the Dirtyard Classic, Game 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
There we go, baby. Oh, my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Go. Walk in. Takes it in. Little energy. Not the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard here on the south side of Indianapolis. It's the Dirtyard Classic, game number 1 of this best-of-3 series to determine a Circle City Wiffle Ball champion on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Alex Gertschiff, I'm Derek Schultz. And here's Aiden Palmer, who bounced back with a really nice inning and is off to a great start, scoreless through 2. Now he'll take his chances at the dish with his pitching counterpart in Mike Whitty, who struck out the side in the first. As that one hits the board.
Aiden decided to go barefoot, I believe, starting last week, and it might have unlocked another level for him. The barefoot approach for Aiden has worked out well so far.
Reggie Wayne, the former Colt, who I guess is now part of the Colts coaching staff, used to always say, look good, play good, and whatever you're comfortable with, right? Yeah. Whether it's an NFL game or a wiffle ball game.
Yeah.
Look good, play good, comfortable, feels good, and he's letting it flow so far. He's
Why
been
not?
Great on the mound so far.
Yeah, why not?
Tough one there from Whitty to get to 2 strikes.
There you go. We'll talk about the visor at some point, too. It's another fashion choice.
And a swing and a miss there from Palmer as he is down on strikes once again. And Whitty, perfect. 4 batters, 4 Ks. to start this Dirtyard Classic.
Yeah, you see the rising movement on that pitch there. That's such a tough pitch to hit, right? Like a ball moving up, you're just not used to it if, swinging a baseball bat.
That brings up Hopkins, who went down on strikes in his first at bat. Big cut there. This is somebody that, as we mentioned, Alex, you do not want to make a mistake to.
Yeah.
In this lineup.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Thomas is one of the best pure hitters out here. He'll punish a mistake for sure.
And when he hits the board there, freezes Hopkins down on strikes for the second time. That pitch clocked at 103.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's about as unhittable as it gets, yeah.
Which, to put it in perspective for folks at home, baseball-wise, with the mound distance, that would be about $125 on the gun in a baseball game.
Ooh, and speaking of, not fun to wear either, as Rudy takes that one off the ribs or the elbow.
Bear sting can hurt a little bit, but I think he caught enough of his jersey where you lose the stinging sensation there.
Yeah.
Lions second all-time in league history in homers behind Brendan Dudas. And last year's home run derby champ, Will Smithy, won earlier today. No surprise there.
Yeah, go figure, right? Yeah. It gets exhausting out here. You show up year after year just for an excuse for Will Smithy to win your money in some form or fashion.
Well, it's a great underdog story for Rudy to come through last year.
Yeah, exactly.
That one off the plate there, and it's been rare that we've seen somebody work a deep count even here on Mike Whitty, but 3-2 as Rudy, one of the most disciplined hitters in this league.
Yeah.
And that one hits the board. And another strikeout for Mike Whitty, and another perfect inning. We are through 2, game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic. Yakkers and Hounds scoreless here on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Oh, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard. It is the 11th annual, hard to believe, a decade plus now for the guys at the Circle City Wiffle Ball for the Dirtyard Classic here on the IC Sports Network. Between the Yakkers and Hounds, we're scoreless through 2. 0-0 as Aiden Palmer, who's off to an impressive start, did yield a leadoff single in the top of the second inning, but came back to strike out the side, and he has matched Mike Whitty so far through 2 innings.
Yeah, got the early makings here of a Dirtyard Classic pitcher's duel. We've seen a lot of them through the years. So far, that's how this is shaping out, too.
Nick Bundy back to the plate. He was the one who led off the last inning with a single. He is the only batter so far to reach base in this game.
Early 2-0 count now. 3-0 now. Yeah, we'll see if Bundy, I imagine it's full-on take sign here. You start the inning 3-0, opportunity to work into a lob pitch count.
And he will. Good patience there by Bundy.
Come on, bud.
There's
and
one.
that one hits the board for Palmer.
We'll see if he can work all the way back now. Swinging 4-1. Interesting.
That looked like that was heading for the board.
I think it was. I think it was.
And fighting that one off. A good at bat here so far from Bundy.
Yeah, he's seeing him really well. Only 2 at-bats to show for it so far, but good eye. Okay, he's going to take the walk. So, especially with 2 strikes, that makes sense. Again, those strikes would carry over. And Aiden...
And the last thing you want to do is strike out on a lob pitch,
Absolutely.
right? When you're gearing up and trying to hit it over the fence and you overswing.
It's the worst feeling. Yeah, Aiden's got a really nasty lob pitch, too. You can't take it for granted.
So for the second straight inning, Bundy is on to lead off. And here's Whitty to turn the lineup over for the Hounds. I mean, as much as we talk about his pitching, a good hitter as well with some power. He's hit 3 home runs this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I played in Hometown Cup. It's a big tournament up in New Carlisle, Indiana, with Whitty this summer. That one's fouled off.
Puts that one in, at least making contact now.
Yeah.
Looks like, this third time around in the lineup,
Yeah.
starting to see the ball a little bit better coming off of Aiden's hand.
Yeah, and that's a slow pitch style tournament, so you're really teeing off. And Whitty, man, when he sells out for power, he's got really good power.
Puts that one in play. Lyon.
Great play.
Oh, Palmer actually is the one that gets it. Advances the runner, but puts the first out on the board as Bundy moves to second.
Yeah, that's not an easy play there for Aiden. You see it take the short hop there. May have had a chance at a double play if they really pushed it, but I think maybe wisely just decided to eat that one.
Huge swing there from DJ, who's 0 for 2 so far in 2 at-bats. That one inside. And if you're the Hounds, I think the strategy here is just, I know wiffle ball is not a sport where you think of manufacturing runs,
Yeah.
but just scratching one across with the way Whitty is and how locked in he is as a pitcher would put them at a huge advantage.
No doubt. Yeah. You may go as far to say the first run here in this game is going to decide the winner.
That one inside is Palmer a little more loose with the board this inning than we've seen in the first 2.
Yeah.
Comes back with a strike there and a big strikeout.
Yeah. Great
to get
pitch.
that second out.
Great pitch on the low inside corner there. That's really tough to square up.
And that'll bring up Taylor. Bundy still sitting on second with 2 out. And a little dribbler, but that's going to kick foul because of the backspin on that ball.
Yeah, you saw the amount of spin on that. It'll work in both directions too. You hit that to the right side, that may look foul, but it could kick back in. So important to leg those out.
But we are seeing a lot more contact in this at-bat for the Hounds across the board. You saw a great at-bat from Bundy, and even with the strikeout from Jones as well, and here Taylor making contact with the first pitch. Stays alive there with the foul tip.
Yeah, Kobe's a free swinger out here. He's looking to hit off fast pitch, and he will too. He's doesn't need the slow pitch.
Reaches up for that one and fouls it back towards us in the broadcast perch behind home plate. 2-2 count. And a big pitch there from Palmer. And he wastes a leadoff walk, and Bundy left in scoring position as we are through 2.5 here in Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic. Scoreless between the Yakkers and Hounds here on the ISC Sports Network.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X,
Isn't it
podcast,
X now?
whatever it is. Just call it whatever you
Twitter
want.
doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did. First pitch from Whitty, a strike. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Yakkers and Hounds scoreless. Game 1 of this best-of-3 Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network. And Sawyer Mitchell able to make contact with the Mike Whitty pitch, which is a victory in of itself as he goes down on strikes on 3 pitches to lead off the bottom of the 3rd.
Eagle-eyed viewers here, and this shot here will be able to find Brendan Dudas, commissioner of the league, who's blending in like a Where's Waldo type character right now, in disguise.
Strike there from Whitty, 0-1. Puts that one in play. Really good swing from Aiden Palmer. What's it like, Alex, as pitching and hitting where, you're locked in as a pitcher, but then you get to the plate as well? Because obviously that's the case with anybody that's going to pitch is also going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it varies guy to guy, right? Like some guys will want to, be out there in the lineup while they're pitching too. It actually helps them with one or the other, right? Other guys, you'll see them sit when they're pitching, right? So I don't know. For me, I get so far in my own head. I like to have the distraction to do the other to keep my mind occupied. But definitely takes a different sort of mental approach for sure.
Palmer down on strikes, and look at that. Really nice hit from Hopkins. He's going to try to stretch that to 2, and got a little over-aggressive there on the base pass, but you can't blame him, right? You see something going, you make contact in fair territory against Mike Whitty, you want to take advantage of it, but unfortunately Hopkins down trying to advance to second base, but the first hit of the game for the Yakkers.
Yeah, great swing. Tom is not the most fleet of foot guys out here, but it did take a perfect relay from DJ to get the out.
So we'll see. Maybe the Yakkers can build on that as we're through 3 innings. Still scoreless, a pitching duel between Palmer and Whitty in Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
First pitch strike from Aiden Palmer as he faces off against Nick Bundy, who's had himself quite a game so far, through 2 at-bats, reaching both times.
Quick 0-2 count for Aiden this time, though. It's gonna have to battle to do anything with it. And
stays alive with that foul tip. He's 1 for 1, a single, and then elected to take the walk in his previous at-bat, but down on strikes as Palmer gets the best of him for the first time this afternoon for a leadoff out.
Yeah, that at-bat right there and the last one of the last inning for Aiden really, I think, shows his growth as a pitcher. He had Kobe down 2 strikes, swinging at a couple balls that were borderline strikes. He throws one that misses away, gets the chase. Same thing here with Bundy, right? He's up 0-2, throws that slider that misses off the board to get the chase. I think, a couple years ago, he's just pounding the board, throwing strikes when he can. I think those, intentional chase pitches, huge development for him.
Top of the 4th here, and the third at bat for Mike Whitty, who's 0 for 2. We're scoreless here in Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic, a best-of-3 series to determine Circle City Wiffle Ball's champion.
Dude, just really, really watching that one in case it decided to roll back. We'll play 6 innings out here, but the way this is going, we may be headed for extras. It would be at least the 3rd extra innings playoff game we've had so far this season.
Whitty puts that one in play. Palmer, and he can't beat it out. Whitty reaches. Another great defensive effort from Palmer today. And we saw another one that ultimately was a bang-bang play at first base, and again, the Hounds get the better of him.
Yeah, and you saw it there, as if Whitty needed another tool in his toolkit. He's the fastest guy out here, man. He can fly.
That brings up Jones with 1 away and 1 on. And as we said, these Hounds hitters starting to really lock in here in the 4th inning. We saw it last inning against Palmer. One of my favorite stories about Aiden, he was a young player, too young to qualify for the national tournament, and I believe, I don't know who led this effort. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus in case the Wiffle police are listening. but I believe there was a Facebook profile made for Aiden that showed that he was an age that he was not, so he would qualify because he was such a good pitcher even at 16 years old, and he performed well.
Awesome. I love it.
And a big strikeout there from Palmer. 2 away is what he stands on first.
Kobe had a couple good at-bats here so far. We'll see if, with a runner on, he can do any damage.
And that one nicks the board for a strike. Kind of half-swing efforts at that, and a really nice play by Rudy Line, because that for sure would have been a single had he not kicked it off. And for those that don't know, you see that line right there. The ball has to cross that, and you can do whatever, by whatever means necessary, right, to make sure that that ball does not cross.
Yeah, that was really close. That was really close. Any more time would have passed, and that would have rolled fair.
But 2 strikes now to Taylor.
Good
A
pitch.
big swing and a miss. Aiden Palmer has been, I don't know if I would say trouble, but has dealt with runners on throughout game 1 and consistently gotten out of it, and he does again here in the top half of the 4th inning. Yakkers coming up to bat here, still scoreless, as we're a little over halfway through game number 1 of the Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
Back at the Dirt Yard, game 1 of the Dirt Yard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network. Today's broadcast brought to you by Floors Unlimited. Floors Unlimited has served the Lafayette and surrounding areas for over 30 years. They specialize in carpet and upholstery cleaning, hardwood refinishing, and residential commercial painting. Give them a call at 765-479-0711, Lafayette area. Alex, I know you're an IU grad. I'm an IU grad, but I work for Purdue now.
Yeah.
And that's been a little bit of a strange relationship.
It's disorienting, I imagine.
With the rivalry and everything like that.
Yeah.
My wife is still not fully on board. We met at IU, and I come downstairs wearing, the motion P, and she's like, "What the hell is that?
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
Fair enough.
But you're loyal to who signs your checks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're doing a lot of great stuff in the city right now with the university here in the city these days.
Yeah, it's been interesting with the IUPUI split to see all of that. That's been my life for the last 18 months.
I believe it.
Rudy Lyons stepping in again, and you can see kind of some of the frustration with that last pitch. He's still trying to dial up Mike Whitty, and it's so difficult to do. And a big swing and a miss there for another strikeout.
Yeah, the thing with Whitty, too, is he's got, 3 or 4 different pitches that he'll mix in, right? And, credit to Aiden, who's thrown a great game so far. As this game progresses, he's really only got 1 or 2 pitches. And as the Hounds see it more and more and more, they'll really start to dial in. We've started to see it already, but Whitty's got a little bit more longevity as Sawyer reaches on a single. He's going to stretch it, too.
And it looks like that's going to be another out, too. And the Yakkers, they're seeing the ball go into play, and you get excited that you're hitting the ball in play against Mike Whitty, but that's the second time now that we've seen them try to advance to second and end up leaving with an out. But you have to be aggressive against Whitty, right? People watching at home might be like, what are they doing? They're running themselves into outs, but I think that's the approach that you have to take against a pitcher like this.
Yeah, definitely last inning, Thomas's hit with 2 outs, you can definitely defend that. That one was a little tougher to defend with only 1 gone to make that out on the base pass. We'll see if it comes back to bite him.
Palmer steps in with 2 away.
I think Whitty has started throwing it even harder if possible. This is the thing we see, too, is, he allows a hit or two, he kind of gets mad, and then he's like, all right, now you've done it. You've poked the bear.
And Whitty down on strikes there as a quick run there for the Yakkers as they go down in order in the top of the 5th. And here's Rudy at the plate.
Oh!
And the GoPro, it's going to be just fine with a plastic wiffle ball. Still fine. Look at Rudy. Deputy Commish stepping in, making sure our broadcast looks great here on the ISC Sports Network. Back with more from the Dirtyard Classic next.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
So far in this game, Aiden Palmer has matched wits, no pun intended, with Mike Whitty, as we are scoreless between the Hounds and Yakkers. Game 1 of the best-of-3 series, known as the Dirtyard Classic, the 11th annual to determine a champion for Circle City Wiffle. Pleased to bring you the broadcast today on the ISC Sports Network alongside Alex Gercheff. I'm Derek Schultz. And first pitch from Palmer, a strike to Bundy, who of the 8 batters we've seen today has had the most success in this scoreless pitching duel.
Yeah, he's seen it well. My approach against Aiden, and I imagine it's the same approach that Bundy and other right-handers have, is you have to pick out a spot on your body where that pitch is going to start. He throws that hard, sweeping curveball. And so for me, it's like when I see it right shoulder or left shoulder, I know it's going to be a strike, right? I think that's the approach you've got to have as a right-handed batter.
When he lays off that 2-strike pitch and stays alive, getting a piece of that offering from Palmer, who's been terrific today. He's been everything that the Yakkers have needed so far. Really great take there from Bundy.
Yeah, this is Aiden's second year on the Yakkers. He's been huge for them. That one misses away too, as you know, Rudy has kind of carried the freight as their primary pitcher over the years, as Rudy, like, you know, most of us, start to get up there in age. The arm's not quite as fresh as it used to be. Aiden's been, you know, just what the doctor ordered for him.
And that one's off the board too, and he's just going to take the walk.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we haven't seen Aiden's slow pitch yet, but when we do get to see it, it's pretty filthy. So you can't fault a guy for taking a walk with 2 strikes.
Third time today that Bundy has reached, and the leadoff man on once again for the Hounds, who have not been able to do much with their base runners so far. We'll see if that changes. Really nice pitch there from Palmer that cuts the outside edge for a strike.
Yeah, that's a tip-your-hat pitch. When you hit an edge like that, you give it to the pitcher.
And another one coming back at Whitty, and he is down on strikes just like that for the first out here in the 5th.
See Aiden retrieve that ball, too. You must really like this one. You'll see guys do that from time to time, you know. You hit the board, ball bounces back, just go grab the same one.
Big swing there from DJ. You know, Jones looks like he's going to get one here eventually.
Yeah.
These last couple of bats, he's been coming closer and closer. Big swing there. I mean, you don't even need to say big swing with Jones. It's always a big swing.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated up there.
6 homers, 9 ribbies this year in league play as he takes that one for a ball.
Yeah, another guy with college ball pedigree, just a great all-around hitter. He's gonna get on the board here today one way or another.
But another high riser there from Palmer, which fools Jones for the second out. And here is Kobe Taylor once again. Puts that right back towards us. He's right on it, but a foul ball for a first pitch strike. And Kobe's had a couple of chances today and some good at-bats as well with runners on.
Yeah, another guy who doesn't get cheated. I don't know if you recall last season, Game 2 of the Dirtyard Classic, he hit a home run that was, I think, the farthest I've ever seen someone hit a ball out here.
And the Barefoot Behemoth keeps going after it. He's scoreless through the first 5 half innings as we are through 4.5 here on the Dirtyard Classic. Game 1 on the ISC Sports Network.
Jackson takes the handoff, throws the deep ball. He's got a man. Catch made. Rolling, throwing, has a man. First down, the grab by Cyrus. Billingsley keeps. Billingsley spins away from the tackle. Still going. Touchdown, Snyder.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard here on the south side of Indianapolis. This is the Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Alex Gerchiff, I'm Derek Schultz. Today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Perfectly Manicured Turf, Lawn, and Landscape. Perfectly Manicured Turf, Lawn, and Landscape is Greenwood's one-stop shop for all things landscaping. Founded in 2015, PMT has always been dedicated to making lifelong relationships with their customers. In their industry, it's very common to only care about the customer for the season, but they say no to that mindset. They value their customers. They hope to serve them for many years to come at Perfectly Manicured Turf, Lawn, and Landscape. You know, Brendan Dudas, this is his childhood home's backyard. He was telling me, you see some of the conditions out here. It's been a really harsh week with barely any rain. I think we ended up getting some finally on Friday night, and it's dried out things a little bit for the grass today, but still, the Dirtyard always looks gorgeous.
It's always perfect. You know, yeah, we've battled weather all season long. We've been rained out on Wednesdays, you know, who knows how many times, but then down the stretch run here, it's dried out.
Central Indiana, you never really know what you're going to get.
That's right. Yeah.
Never really know. As Hopkins steps in to face Mike Whitty, who's been just about unhittable so far. In fact, the only two hits that he's given up, I think, have both been run into outs.
That's right. Yeah, both trying to stretch out the double.
And swing and miss there, and so Whitty has technically faced the minimum so far.
That's true. Yeah.
Here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and that'll bring up line after another strikeout from Hopkins, his third of the day.
On that strikeout pitch there, too, you saw Whitty kind of mess with the timing of his delivery. He'll do that from time to time. The guy that comes to mind, Nestor Cortez for the Yankees, right? He'll do the same sort of thing. But, yeah, you know, again, as if there's any other reason to make it difficult to hit Whitty, he'll mix that up, too.
We'll kind of pause with the leg and hold it up a little bit, right?
Yep, he'll pause. Whitty that last at-bat we saw him kind of omit the leg kick. He'll do all sorts of stuff.
Strike there.
Or sometimes he'll just, you know, shove it down the strike zone for a strike. It doesn't matter.
He's got that wrap on the arm, but he is not diminished at all. He's thrown 30 playoff innings coming into today in 10 days, so it's been taxing. Nice one there from Lyon, but he hits it right at Taylor for an out, but it's got to feel good. I mean, you know, you see Rudy shaking his head up there in the last couple of bats. At least he squared one up and put one in play.
Yeah, games like this are such it's a marathon, right? And little, you know, progress points like that are worthwhile. You're playing a long game.
And even Sawyer Mitchell's had a couple of good at-bats today. Puts that first pitch not into play, but makes contact at least for a strike.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the innings load on Whitty. You know, he threw a 16-inning game last weekend, another extra innings game the round before, and then a standard game. I think if anybody is, you know, built to be able to weather that kind of wear, it's Mike. But
that one in play too, but a really nice defensive play by Taylor to put the hand on the bag and retire the side.
Yeah, great play. You see him lay out, and he's not able to complete the catch, but has the you know, the wherewithal to corral it and put that hand out to tag the bag.
We're through 5 and getting exactly what we've expected so far. Aiden Palmer and Mike Whitty dominating in Game 1 here of the Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network. Yakkers making a little bit of progress at the plate against Mike Whitty in that last inning, and Aiden Palmer is keeping them in this game with what he's been able to do. Scoreless through 5 innings as we enter the top of the 6th. Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic on ISC. First pitch strike there to Nick Bundy, who has reached 3 times today, has elected to take 2 walks, and also singled. And that one's going to be another time reaching base for Bundy.
Locked in.
4 times in this game is quite the testament to how he's been at the plate. And again, Alex, the leadoff man on.
Exactly.
For the Hounds.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do anything with it. They're in a great spot now, top of the order up, no outs, in a real prime position to finally break this open. And here in the 6th inning, it's go time, right?
Each time, though, that Palmer has been faced with this situation, he's come through with no damage.
Yeah.
But you're also playing with fire a little bit with this Hounds lineup. All these guys, Whitty and Jones, Taylor, very capable hitters.
Absolutely, yeah. And we saw last at bat, too. Like, all it really takes for Whitty to reach is to put it in play with his legs.
And Whitty does put that one in play, bobbled by Palmer, and I think Whitty's going to beat that one out.
Asked and answered. He hits it in play right back to the pitcher, but it's enough to get him on the bag.
And the first real defensive gaffe that we've seen from Palmer, who's been terrific, not only pitching but also defensively with the rare balls that have been hit in play. But the Hounds in business here for Dylan Jones, 2 on, nobody out.
Definitely, yeah. Aiden working quickly. We'll see if he can, push through it. But real golden opportunity for the Hounds now. Wind has picked up a little bit. It's blowing in our faces, so it's going to be hard to muscle one over the fence. But again, 2 runners on, nobody out. Maybe that's not what you're trying to do anyway.
And Jones down on strike, so a really big K for Palmer.
Huge.
To get the first out of the inning. And here's Kobe Taylor, runners on once again. I believe every time that he's come up today, I think he's had runners on.
Yeah, it's felt like it for sure. Free swinging on that first one. That ball misses the zone.
That one up in the air, and it's over Lyons headed. Oh, but he comes back and makes the play. Tagging is Bundy. Ooh, he took a big turn at third base, but ended up holding out. So a productive out for Taylor. That one might have gotten caught up in the wind, Alex.
Yeah, we were just finished saying it. With the wind blowing in, that might leave on a different day. Really good piece of hitting by Kobe, but it hangs up in the wind, and it at least advances the runners. There's a lot to unpack with this play. A lot happened.
That's the first time that we've seen somebody really barrel a ball, I think, today.
I think you're right.
With Taylor putting that up and giving that a chance, but it's fantastic defensive play by Line. He went over his shoulder, and it looked like it was going to go over his head, and able to make the out the second of the inning. But
Great catch, battling the wind. You see Bundy thought about rounding third and trying to push that for a run, but I think wisely turned around and returned.
Well, the way he's hit today, give yourself a chance at the plate with runners on second and third.
He's seeing it great.
A golden opportunity here for the Hounds, and a most crucial moment of the game that we've seen so far here in the 6th inning.
Now Bundy ahead in the count, too.
That one hits the board. Big strike there by Palmer. I think Bundy was taken the whole way on that one.
Would be a big win for the Yakkers here to escape this inning.
And he puts that one in play. That is going to score a run. Actually, it's going to score 2. Whitty comes in, and what an afternoon so far for Nick Bundy. He's 4th in the lineup. He's reached base 5 times, and he drives in 2 with 2 outs. A huge 2-run single to put the Hounds on the board.
That's as big as it gets, man. 2 strikes, line drive up the middle. You saw Whitty wait for it to hit the ground. And, 2 runs score. Whitty's speed able to push that second run in, too, as the rain starts to come down now.
So 3 singles and 2 walks for Bundy, as well as 2 RBI. And a huge spot, and he comes through once again. And for the first time today, we see Palmer gets touched up. It seemed like, over and over again, he was getting himself out of trouble. But
Yep. Yeah, strung a few together at the right time here to plate those runs.
So 2 outs here for Whitty, as he obviously reached earlier this inning, and that ended up being a really big play because Palmer unable to make the play on the mound, and Whitty using his speed was able to reach, and that opened up the whole winning.
Great point, yeah.
Strikeout there for Palmer, but the damage done. 2 runs for the Hounds as we head to the bottom of the 6th. We'll see if Mike Whitty can make it stand up here in Game 1 of the Dirtyard Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
It's now or never here in Game 1 for the Yakkers, as they'll not only have to score once, but twice to keep this thing alive against Mike Whitty and the Hounds after that huge 2-run single by Nick Bundy opened up the scoring in the top half of the 6th inning. and Aiden Palmer will step to the plate.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Whitty empty the tank here, at least, for the time being.
So if there is a Game 3, Alex, he would come back and pitch Game 3
That's right.
as well.
That's right, yeah. But again, look at the dude. Dude's as fit as anyone out here. He's built to weather the storm, so.
35 innings in 10 days. What's another 6 or 7
Why
on top
not?
of that, right?
Why not? The off-season's coming. Plenty of time to ice the arm.
Palmer trying to keep this thing alive. He had a great pitching effort through 5, but just ran into trouble. And as we mentioned, there was kind of that dribbler to the mound from Whitty that he misplayed, and that put 2 on. Taylor with a productive out to put them over at 2nd and 3rd, and Bundy's really been the one that has been the hitter of the game so far.
Have
that Palmer has yet to solve.
Have a game, Bundy. Man, the clutch hits, those walks earlier in the game to at least flip the lineup over, really underrated big part of the game.
Yeah, 6 at-bats, and he reached 5 times.
Yeah, huge.
Palmer doing a nice job here, very disciplined.
Yeah, with the rain, I don't know how well you can tell on the broadcast, but we're getting some sprinkles here, and that can affect, the way that the ball moves, the way that the hand comes off the ball. Whitty able to work through it, obviously, and still be successful. But it may change, the comfort level of some of these guys out here.
With a 2-run lead, though, the biggest out to get is the first one.
Absolutely.
So a big strikeout to lead off this inning for Whitty. And here's Hopkins. Big swing there, but ends up being fruitless and a strike. He's on that one right to us. Oh.
Come on, man. That was your shot.
Hit my left hand. That's my offhand, to be fair to me.
Okay. My dad would always say, if it hits your hands, you should catch it.
That's why, and that one to Rob Lynch, one of our camera. That's why I can't hold a candle to what you guys do here in Wiffle. My reaction speed and hand-eye coordination, forget about it.
Yeah, we were put on the spot here. Whoa.
2 strikes to Hopkins, but a couple of really good swings as he put 2 right back towards us here in the broadcast booth.
That ball did something different than I think I've ever seen Whitty do as he goes back to his bread and butter.
And what do you even do with that pitch? I mean, even Hopkins shaking his head. That one just paints the corner, and you do what you can against somebody of the talent of Mike Whitty, and that one just upper half.
I mean, such a great shot. Yeah, you can see the movement of that. I think the riser is the toughest pitch to hit out here, again, because it's a type of movement you're really not accustomed to seeing.
Top of the board and line the last chance here for the Yakkers in Game 1. This is a best of 3, so this is not the determining game. But tough for the Yakkers to get that kind of pitching performance from Palmer and get all the way to the 6th inning and then just to have it, kind of come unglued a little bit there in the top half. And that's it. Another strikeout for Whitty. A fantastic performance. No runs. The only 2 hits ended up running into outs, so he technically faced the minimum.
Yeah.
But a terrific outing for Mike Whitty, what we've come to expect, and he's put the Hounds 1 win away from a Dirtyard Classic championship as they take Game 1 in this best of 3 series here on the ISC Sports Network. So we are back with more next. Alex Gertcheff will also check in with Will Smithy, one of the best players in this league. In fact, one of the best players in the country, as we get you set for game number 2, Dirtyard Classic, ISC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.